Well, Rick, obviously a pretty special weekend for the club last weekend. How do you refocus the guys into the energy for the home game on Saturday?
Yeah, it was. It was a great celebration. It was an emotional weekend with the way we won the game and having all the 94 boys there. It was fantastic. They all had a great weekend, and they're still talking about it. But we fronted that pretty early in the week in regards to leaving that behind and moving on to another important game.
Two really gritty come-from-behind performances in the last couple of weeks. And I know you'd love to be probably out in front a bit more comfortable, but it's shown a good sign of resilience amongst the group that they can, face adversity in games and come back.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hard work in that. That doesn't just happen. Comes to back down to character of your team, all your work you do in regards to building that resilience, and there's a lot of trust and belief in the boys, which is it's quite a powerful resource to have, knowing the fact that you're never dead.
No doubt the experience of guys like Elliot and Jordan have been very influential over the past couple of games, and no doubt you're leaning on them at the moment to help guide this young team.
Yeah, it's a good point, Ben. It's having their voices, not just game day, not just for the 80 minutes, but just around our preparation, our training. That experience is, you can't buy it. It's years and years of playing and gaining that experience, which is now being passed on to the younger guys, which I know they're all very much appreciative of the fact that they've got those two boys out there game day. But the prep during the week has been good because of the seniority.
And guys like Nick Kotrick have come back into the side. Emre Gula, who went away, played some New South Wales Cup. They've come back in with a renewed focus and energy as well.
Yeah, they have, and they know there's not just those two boys, but they know there's good players underneath them. There's good players to come back. There's good players underneath them in Cup that are putting pressure on everybody in their positions, which is healthy.
One of those guys that gets a chance this week is Pete Hola. Obviously, Josh Papali'i out for a week with suspension. Pete's been really strong in Cup, and I suppose another byproduct of that. Yeah,
he's been playing NRL quality footy in Cup, so that gives you great confidence when you're selecting a player such as Pete. What does it mean,
for where the club's in position at the moment to be able to bring these guys with NRL experience into your squad and just having that depth across two grades?
It's not the position that we're on the table, the position, on the table. It's not that. I've always got the confidence and the courage to boo younger players. I mean, I've shown that right throughout my coaching career that if they're doing the work and I think they've got the talent, they'll get a debut, and we've done that an amazing amount of times here at the club.
It's Indigenous Round this week. You've got a couple of proud Indigenous boys playing in the game this week in Seb and Xavier, and we saw them out here, doing a bit of a dance lesson with the rest of the group yesterday. Do you feel the energy from those guys in a week like this?
Yeah, that was a nice celebration yesterday. Nice lunch. Our Indigenous boys are way better dancers than a few of the others. I noticed that yesterday, but they had fun. And I think it's a very important part of the calendar for our season.
Joe Tapine, 200 games at NRL level this week. What has he done in terms of his impact to this club since he's been here?
His growth over the last 18 months, from maturity point of view, I just spoke about Jordan and Elliot. Their talk has been the growth has been enormous in Joe. His relationship with Elliot, his relationship with Jordan and Papa is so strong, and I see that on the field. Personally, I think Joe's game's as good as, if not as better, than when he was getting all the accolades and winning Mal Meninga awards. Some of the things he's doing off the football far outweighs his game of 3 or 4 years ago. I couldn't be happier with where he's progressing, and I know there's further progression for him as well. But his maturity and he finds it a lot more comfortable now to speak up and be that leader, and it's so important for boys who have had that amount of experience to speak. Because when you're involved in a squad such as ours with so much youth, they're looking up to people like Joe.
And indications this week as well that we're probably going to have one of the biggest home crowds we've had in quite a while this weekend. up around 20,000. What does that mean Saturday afternoon?
Amazing.
For you at GIA?
Yeah, look, the boys love playing in front of the big crowd. They love playing in front of our supporters, and they know how rusted on they are. They know how loyal and passionate our supporter group is, and the feeling when you get to GIO with a big crowd is, it's something that you crave for. You love having a big crowd there right behind your players, and it does lift the boys. It's something special on the back end of a week where you have done all the hard work, and then you got your loyal supporters there that you want to play for.